Recently, at least according to the time of which I recorded this video, ex-Stanford student Brock Turner was released from jail after spending only 3 months of his original 6-month sentence for raping a unconscious woman behind a dumpster. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. He was convicted to 6 months after sexually assaulting an unconscious woman behind a dumpster. An unconscious woman of whom he left the party with to go have sex with while she was still conscious, and they stopped behind the dumpster, of which then she fell unconscious. I tell you one thing that will never cease to amaze me about our society, and that is our quickness to find adversaries, usually in men, and how whenever anyone finds an adversary in a woman, say Anita Sarkeesian, she's a victim. There's a problem there. Something is wrong with that picture. It's amazing to me how quickly people are to be angry and outraged and upset about something of which they have hardly any information about. So let's say I'll take this from the top. I'm trying not to make this video too long because I've been recording this constantly, and this is like the 4th time I've made this video. I'll take it from the top, a little back a while ago. When I first heard about this Brock Turner case, I remember I saw a bunch of memes on Facebook, on the Book of Faces, and a bunch of people talking about this rapist named Brock Turner, and it confused the hell out of me. I was like, why is this nigga on my news feed? I don't understand this. Constantly, very many posts. So I asked this one chick I went to high school with. I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? She said this guy is an ex-Stanford student swimmer who raped an unconscious girl behind a dumpster. And I was like, oh, interesting. All right, carry on. She tells me that he had a very lenient sentence of only 6 months, and I was like, that's shitty. That's terrible. Interesting. I wonder why that was. I went on with the rest of my day. Though in the back of my mind, there are a couple of things that I thought were strange and peculiar. The first question that I had, which I thought would be, I don't know, the question that would pop up in any reasonable person's mind was, well, how did he get this girl from point A to point B? Was my question. I was a little confused about the scenario that was presented to me. I mean, did he drag the bitch to the dumpster? Did he knock her upside the head with the beer bottle, throw her over his shoulder and walked her? Like, how did he get this girl from point A to point B? It confused me. It didn't make any sense to me. Another thing that didn't make any sense to me was how, in an environment of which people vehemently hate rape, was this guy able to get off with the 6-month sentence if he was convicted for rape? Well, see, interestingly enough, both of my questions were answered by Janice Fiamingo's video. She talks about the Stanford Rape case, where I learned 2 very interesting things. I learned, point 1, no one contradicted Brock's testimony in that he and the girl were dancing and kissing each other, and after drinking heavily, that they left the party together and they went to the dumpster together. No one contradicted that. I mean, apparently that's true. That's what happened. That's how the girl got from point A to point B. It's 2 drunk people fucking dancing, doing their thing, and they went to go do the do. The other answer to my question as to how a convicted rapist was able to get a 6-month sentence was, I found out he wasn't a convicted rapist. Yeah, I found out he was convicted of sexual assault with intent to rape. That's why he didn't get the sentence as harsh as many people want. So people have been reporting this wrong for a long time now, and it's interesting because I've looked at a couple of videos recently about it, and now they're reporting it correctly. Now they are saying that he is convicted of sexual assault, when before he was a convicted rapist. Apparently they realized, apparently some part of them was like, hey, we've been telling lies for a little while. Maybe we should tell the truth now, finally. So that's the truth. The truth was, what he actually did was he was fingering the girl. If I just point blank, that's what happened. I'm not trying to say it wasn't serious. I'm not trying to say he's a hero or he's big. I'm not trying to say anything. Just the fact of the matter was, he was fingering the girl That's what happened. The girl fell unconscious after he was making out with her, and he started fingering her. She was fucking nodded off, right? She's like, That's what happened. And yes, I am making fun of the scenario because, honestly, I don't think that the clusterfuck of what happened with Brock Turner should have come from that. From the fact that he fingered a drunk girl that he was about to have sex with, while he too was drunk as well. People seem to forget that these two individuals were inebriated. These were not people in the right frame of mind. That's why they were behind a fucking dumpster. It's amazing to me, again, how no one stops and takes a look at situations and evaluates them and then comes and draws conclusions based off of that, based off of the actual facts that have occurred. But this isn't really anything new to anyone. This isn't anything that any reasonable person would know. I mean, a lot of people would be like, yeah, humans are fucking sheep. Got a bunch of sheeple, just going around, shepherds, liars, leading them wherever they want them to go. And that's true. Bunch of sheeple going around spreading lies. Spreading something, or not even, lie implies intent. Spreading untruths. Spreading false information to unsuspecting people who, in all honesty, have a reasonable, righteous anger if this story was true. I have to say this. If it was true that some crazy predator found this drunk girl, which she drunk herself that state. Let's not. He didn't fucking give her these drinks. She drunk herself to that state. But let's say he's still a predator. If this story was true, this predator found this drunk girl, right, in an environment of which she knew no one but her sister, and he, grabbed her at fucking gunpoint, told other people, shut the fuck up, pulled her out of there, then doused her with some fucking vodka until she fell unconscious, and then raped her body behind the dumpster, and then people came, the two Swedish boys came, I could understand the anger in that situation. In a situation where someone purposely went out of their way to find a drunk person that was going to fall unconscious, drug their body outside behind the fucking dumpster, and rape them. I understand that anger. To then say, well, that person only got sentenced to 6 months. But my question is, where is the common sense in living in a country of which vehemently hates rape? Where is the common sense that makes you stop and say, wait a second, hold on, how the fuck did a convicted rapist get 6 months? Where is it? I mean, common sense apparently isn't. Common sense isn't just that it's not common anymore. Apparently, common sense is a superpower of which you must climb Mount Everest, get to the top, defeat the fucking Yeti boss, and then he will bestow you this mystical ability to just see the fucking world for what it is. Apparently, that's what common sense is. Because my common senses were blazing out of fucking control. My common senses were like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. And it turns out I was right. I was 100% right. It didn't make any sense. Now the reason why Judge Perninsky, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, gave Brock Turner the sentence that he did was because he believed what Brock Turner said to be the account of what happened. Obviously some fucking details missing here or there because, this is the testimony of a drunk person. He believed that Brock Turner left with this girl, and they were about to have sex, and she fell unconscious, and, well, he still put his finger inside of her. Whether he knew it was wrong or right, he still committed a crime. He still sexually assaulted an unconscious person. It still happened. The judge, seeing that still happened, said to himself, okay, well, this guy hasn't done anything wrong ever. He's committed no crimes. He's got a clean record. He was drunk, so maybe he's not in his right frame of mind. Apparently, this girl was kissing him, and he had consent, or he believes he had consent, so he isn't some crazy predator who just didn't give a damn. I don't think that putting this man in jail for a prolonged period of time is going to do anything for him, because he's not an individual that needs to go to jail. He committed a crime, on a technicality or whatever. He committed a crime. The judge thinking this, he committed a crime. There's no way around that. But do I need to send him to jail for years to correct this behavior? No, I don't. So I'm going to give him 6 months. And that's what happened. He didn't think that jail was the appropriate place to put a person with a clean record who fucked up for a prolonged period of time. And of course people believe that this was too lenient. And of course they believe that. Of course people would believe that 6 months jail sentence, of which only 3 months was served, was too lenient. Because in their minds, this was a predator this was a fucking python out in the bayou, slithering around, looking for someone to rape. Of course, in the minds of these sheeple, they think it's too lenient. Because they don't have the truth. They don't know what actually happened. And it just bothers me, man. It really does. It really bothers me how we can live in this culture of which we will throw people to the fucking fire, to the flame, if they're even accused of rape, withholding whether it's even been proven. Even after it's been proven, the rape charges were actually were dropped because Brock turned in raper. And yet, despite the fact that all this information is there and present out for people, they're still going around with this misinformation of being completely fucking wrong about what happened. And still, something that just blows my mind, still believe that we live in a culture of which condones and supports rape. You could see this vehement reaction. I mean, I read a news story where armed protesters, people with fucking weaponry, went and protested outside of Brock Turner's home. That's right, his parents, his neighbors are going to have to deal with this shit, something they didn't have anything to do with, because of false information spread about what happened with their son or with their neighbor. And the neighbors probably think that he is a fucking terrible person. Hell, even if you come out and try to fucking defend him like one of his friends did, which, I mean, God forbid that your friend tries to have your back. That's wrong. Or if your father tries to have your shoes, fuck that shit. That's wrong too. I mean, I remember there's this one drummer who wrote a letter to the judge singing his praises because, well, I mean, that's his friend. That's her friend. I mean, I'm sorry. And I remember one of her band's shows was canceled because people found out that she was defending this rapist. Obviously, by now you should know he's not. He committed sexual assault. Even his father got the hotness. That was people's wraths when he believed that his son, the next 20 years of his life, should not be judged by 20 minutes of action. He said that, and people were like, oh, how insensitive, how horrible and terrible that a father would try to protect his son. That's horrible. Amazing how we could constantly lambaste men for not being fathers to their children, and then when a father tries to be a father to his child, well, because his child was assumed to be a rapist, now it's wrong. Now it's wrong to defend your babies. You should throw them to the fucking wayside when that's what happens. Apparently, it's so confusing how people look at men. It really gets me. I could probably make a whole nother video on that. But yeah, his father was also the center of a bunch of the flames, the hotness of people's fucking ignorance, if I can put it that bluntly. Because he didn't believe that his son should be convicted to a prolonged period of time in jail for fingering a girl he was about to have sex with. Because that is what happened. He did not rape her. And it sucks that he's got to walk around being the poster boy of a non-existent rape culture, which again you think would be clearly proven to not exist, and that our culture is not condoning his fucking behavior. I mean, let's just stop and talk about rape culture there. I mean, I say this all the time when these topics come up, but how in the actual hell can you believe we live in a culture which condones rape when people don't condone rape? When people have such a vehement, vitriolic reaction to someone even accused of rape, let alone convicted. And once again, in this case here, Brock Turner wasn't convicted for rape. He's not a rapist. He committed sexual assault. I find it interesting how, again, people can say that the 6-month sentence, of which he only served 3, was too lenient, considering he's got to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Yeah, can't get away from that shit. He's on probation for, I think, 2 or 3 years. Let's not pretend that isn't a thing. I mean, I don't really know how this shit here, your entire social life being destroyed, your prospects for jobs being destroyed, your ability to get back into college, a good college you're in, destroyed. I don't see how you can say that this shit is too fucking lenient. Yeah, again, there's no way he's getting into another college. I mean, if he does, I don't know how he's going to do it. He's not getting to another college. I mean, again, you're a sex offender. What kind of jobs are going to hire an ex-con sex offender? I mean, how is he going to support himself now? This is the rest of his life. He's got to deal with this shit. And it's not like he could fly under the radar. Oh, no, no, no. Again, his face is plastered everywhere. I even read again another article. People have grabbed posters of his face, wrote, "This guy is a rapist," and just plastered it everywhere. They don't even live in the same city that he lives in. I even read that now there's another, because of what happened with Brock Turner, again, false information spread that he raped this unconscious girl, which he didn't. Now California is trying to make legislation to make a more serious, or if I can remember correctly, to try to make mandatory, fucking hell, I don't even remember. You guys are going to have to research that on your own. I'm trying to get the correct words out here. I don't remember it. Basically, if I can summarize, you're trying to lengthen the time of which a man who has been convicted, or a person has been convicted of raping someone unconscious or sex assaulting someone unconscious, would have to receive a mandatory sentence of, I think, I don't know, 6 years? I don't remember correctly. I just know new legislation which they want to make this crime punishment harsher has been sprung out from this case. I probably should have reread it, but I'm only doing one take. I've recorded this video numerous times, and that's it. I mean, it bothers me the amount of misinformation that's constantly being strewed about here. And I know a lot of people are going to say that I'm defending a rapist, but I just have to reply with, no, I'm not, because Brock Turner isn't a rapist. And I'm not even saying that Brock Turner didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he technically did. There's no way around that. What I am saying is that I don't think anyone's entire life should be completely obliterated based on information that's not true. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're going to be upset with Brock Turner, at least be upset about the correct thing. At least be upset that this drunk person tried to have sex with another drunk person that fell unconscious. At least be angry about that. I mean, at least let's take into consideration that this girl here drank herself into that state of mind. I mean, she was drinking before she got to this party with a bunch of people she did not know. Yeah, again, I've been saying this on my channel for a long time. It's not a good idea to get drunk in an environment of which you know not anyone there. Let's not pretend that that didn't happen, and let's not pretend that this girl didn't fucking want it. Now, of course, a lot of people, this prominence in the case really did stem from the girl's letter, which I think you guys should read. There's a lot of interesting things in there. One thing that I found very interesting was in her point of view, in her mind, she believed that if Brock Turner did not finger her, he would have had sex with some other girl. That she was the sacrificial lamb of which needed to be assaulted for this all to occur, which I found to be incredibly interesting that she would believe that, considering at the time she wanted to have sex with him. At the time, in her inebriated state, that's what she wanted. And of course that's what she wanted, because she was drunk. And I mean, if we're going to make it so that no one is ever responsible for any of their actions ever when they get drunk, I find it interesting how that only extends to women and not to men. But that's a conversation that's been going on for years now, which still seems to not have any definitive answer to it. I think it sucks that this is a situation where two drunk people tried to have sex with each other, and the man obviously got the fire, the hotness that was people's ignorance fired against them. But I mean, it is what it is, man. There's not much we can do. I guess the moral of the story is, I would say is, don't have drunk sex, young men. I know it's not fun. It's not fair. It sucks that someone has to say that. But I mean, seriously, don't do it with fucking random strangers. Don't have drunk sex with strangers. Get to know the person. Talk to them for a while. Get into a committed relationship, or don't do it at all. Listen, seriously, if you're a young man, listen, it's not worth it. It's not. You can find some sexy, beautiful woman with a fucking nice ass, she's tall, you know, maybe she's got big boobs, who fucking cares? It's not worth it. It's not. The rest of your life is not fucking worth it. Having sex with drunk women is not fucking worth it. It's not. Young men, if you're watching this, please, it's not worth it. Do it with sober people. Do it with someone in a committed relationship. Avoid this problem altogether. Don't have sex at all. If you really want to take it to celibacy, don't have sex at all until you're fucking married. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's getting to this point, young men, where you, again, two drunk people in the same situation. And I think the thing that really makes this story, the problem with Brock Turner, was the woman did fall unconscious. Again, from her own action. She drank herself to the situation. It doesn't really matter. She was unconscious. And I think that's really what sparked so much problem and controversy. But even fucking still, young men, don't take the chance. Don't have sex with drunk women. Do it with sober women. Do it with fucking women you're like, don't do it. It's not fucking worth it. It's not. The rest of your life is not worth it. Giving her the ability to say you raped her is not fucking worth it. So that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys got something out of today's video. And if you did, man, please go ahead and click the like button. And go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.